Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos of the paid request, this time for Eelco. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. That's usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for my top 10 favorite Donald Sutherland movies. If you're wondering, I got the phone just to look at the list of what he's made. Sadly, recently, he did pass away, which is too bad. Donald Sutherland, I always thought was a good actor. Thought he was a great actor. Always enjoyed seeing him when he popped up in a movie. And sad to see that he has passed away. So the show, or at least to look into what films he's been a part of, I'm going to start with number one and work my way down. Anytime I think of Mr. Sutherland, I think of Lock Up with Sylvester Stallone as Warden Drumgle. Well, you don't be here for the rest of your life. Just ready and willing to make Stallone's life a living hell. He was the sadistic warden where Stallone's character, he was in prison. He broke out to see his dad, who was dying, in the funeral. He got a lot of public support. The warden and his treatment of things got him kind of embarrassed, demoted. So now that he's here, he wants to take total revenge on Stallone. And just gleefully evil. You just hated that character. You really felt sorry for Stallone. You hated that character. And Lock Up, I think, is a very underrated film. Came out in 1989. Sadly, did no kind of business. But yeah, Lock Up is a very underrated film. And Donald was just great as that evil, completely evil warden. It just, God, always was easy to root for Stallone and root against the Donald's character. So that right there, I always think of. My mind always goes to. Other movies, Outbreak, where he played the Major General McClintock. I really do like Outbreak. I think that's a very solid movie that definitely more prominent in today's age. I think Dustin Hoffman does a wonderful job. Rene Russo, Morgan Freeman. Of course, Donald is pretty much the big villain of the piece. And once again, you just love to hate the guy. Just evil and, God, just easy to root against him. Number 3, JFK as Mr. X. I mean, he almost steals the movie. He's in like one scene where he's talking to Kevin Costner. And he just has a lot of exposition about some, conspiracy, how do you want to say, conspiracy, whatever, but about what happened and why it happened and why JFK was taken out. And you just see how determined and how focused and how laser focused Donald is during that one scene. And it's such a pivotal moment in the movie. In a very lengthy film, but it's definitely a moment people remember. And like I said, there's a lot of dialogue, a lot of exposition, but the way Mr. Sutherland played it, you're just on pins and needles listening to every word he said, like Kevin Costner's character. And just the delivery and the cadence he said it all, really enjoyed that. Now, if we're talking performance, now here's the thing. If you're asking me my top 10 favorite performances with Donald Sutherland, there'd be a different list. But you said the top 10 favorite movies that he was in. So, if you ask me which I think his best performances, I would say Lock Up as the warden. And number 2, I would say Kelly's Heroes as the character Oddball. It's just a fun, unique, jovial, upbeat character. Now, in the movie, I liked it be much lower on the list. But I'm just going through like movies, like Lock Up, Outbreak, JFK, Double Four, Ad Astra from 2019. I really enjoyed that film. Donald Sutherland, I don't know why I can't say his last name right. Donald Sutherland. He is Brad Pitt's buddy who joins him, at least for a bit, until he can't anymore. Very quiet, but for me, poignant movie. And a lot of people find it boring, but it hit all the right notes for me, personally. I'll put it that way. And then number 5, Bat Draft, where he played the guy who's in jail, who's the arsonist, who wants to watch the world burn. One more can be said about Bat Draft. Very unique character. He was in that. Number 6, Hollow Point is a fun, underrated action film where you had Tia Carrera, Thomas Ian Griffith, John Lithgow. I thought it was a fun action film that nobody really talks about. I thought it was a tad underrated, so that's why I put it a bit higher on the list. Animal House is a fun comedy. I put that as number 7. Kelly's Heroes, way too long. There's even an intermission in the middle. I do like the film. You got Clint Eastwood, you got Telly Savalas. Like I said, you got Donald, of course. I like the song Burning Bridges. It's pretty much about this heist for this gold. It's like a comedy war film. World War II comedy. About this gold heist. I just don't think it needed to be that damn long. I definitely think it could be more of a tighter pace. But I do like it. Number 9, I put the Puppet Masters from the 90s. I never minded that film. Based on a Robert Heinlein novel. About these creatures that are kind of like... look like manta ray. I don't know how you put it. Jellyfish. They kind of look like jellyfish. They get on your back. They hit these tendrils in your neck to your brain. They control you. Tell you what to do. The invasion starts in Iowa. Donald Sutherland is the father of one of the agents, and he's kind of the head of this organization that is looking into this. I know the background noises, like Animal Farm. Maybe they control the Puppet Masters. I'm on to them, that's why they're pissed. I found out their secret, they overheard. Keith David's in the film. And then number 10, I put MASH. I do not like the TV show at all, but I do remember liking the movie. Elliot Gould, Donald Sutherland. I remember the movie being entertaining enough. Now, I know people would have maybe the 90s Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The 70s. The 70s Body Snatchers movie. I don't mind the film, but I don't like the ending. Granted, the ending is very memorable. Don't get me wrong. I get why people like the ending. I'm a sucker for happy endings. That's just how I am. Not just that kind, but, other happy endings too. That's just how it is personally. But that is a good film. Now, again, if you're asking my favorite performances from Donald, I would say Lock Up as Warden Drumgold is my favorite performance of his. Then Oddball and Kelly's Heroes would be number 2. Then I would say Bat Draft, just how Diddy is, and just how he's trying to play it straight and narrow, but Robert De Niro knows he's full of it, and kind of gets him to admit just how crazy, how much he wants the world to burn. That'd be my number 3 favorite performance of his. Then I would say 4, JFK as Mr. X. And I'm not sure on 5. I guess any one of them I could pick. I mean, even when he popped up in a bad film, it was still nice to see him in there. Was it The Shadow Conspiracy with Charlie Sheen and Linda Hamilton? Not that good of a film, but it was nice to see Donald there. Virus he was in with Jamie Lee Curtis, which that's an awful movie. Good makeup effects, but awful fucking movie. Trash movie. Hate Virus. ripped off Moontrap. I know it's based on a comic book, but it's still Moontrap did it first, and in my opinion, better. But anyway, that's just me. But yeah, Donald Sutherland, Space Cowboys. That's another one I enjoyed. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to change my list. Number 9, I'm going to put Space Cowboys. And number 10, The Puppet Masters. Because I just remember Space Cowboys. I do remember liking that a decent amount. So, number 9, I'll put Space Cowboys. And number 10, I'll put The Puppet Masters. Because, yeah, Clint Eastwood, James Garner, Tommy Lee Jones, and Donald Sutherland. And sadly, half of them have passed away. So, I do remember him being fun in that. Yes, I remember liking that movie. So, nice to see all those actors work together. But yeah, he'll be greatly missed. And it seemed like a nice guy. You never heard anyone say anything bad about him. He really did not get too political. He seemed like he treated people very well, with respect. He was great. It was always a pleasure to see him on screen. And very sad. I think he was about 88 or so years old. I mean, condolences to his family, like Kiefer, his son Kiefer Sutherland, his friends, and thanks for the memories, for giving us, for me, especially, you always be one of the great villains that Stallone went up against. Just slimy and evil, as that warden. As I said, oddball and Kelly's hero is such a lovable, quirky character in that movie. So, thanks once again, Mr. Sutherland. Rest in peace. And thank you guys for watching. Take care.